your friends, you the shit, and I love that body. You wanna ball, let's split it out.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. If you're in the UK, if you're from another part of the country, let us know. If you're from somewhere else, what time it is, where you are. Just making sure I'm recording this. Yes, fantastic. Okay, so it's so lovely to see so many of you on here live. If you're watching the recording, thank you so much for watching this on playback. My name is Danni Wells, and I have had my business for 10 years. And I'm going to tell you all a little bedtime story. If you're in the UK, we're getting ready for our bedtime now. I'm going to tell you how I came about being in Arbonne, because I definitely did not grow up as a child saying to people, when I grow up, I'm going to be in Arbonne. I actually had never even heard of Arbonne. So I actually ended up, my career was working in ophthalmology. So I worked for Specsavers Opticians, and I absolutely loved what I did. I was one of those people that would skip to work and just thoroughly enjoyed everything about being there. And I imagined that that's where I would retire. Thought I'd be there for 40, 50 odd years, and that's where I would end up retiring. However, something came hurtling out of the blue into our family's life. So there was me and my husband and our two daughters. And our second daughter, unfortunately, had a stroke and a brain hemorrhage, and it came completely out of the blue, and it was horrific. I took a year off work to be with her in hospital, because although she did recover, she had a lot of aftercare, and she was diagnosed with cerebral palsy and needed 24/7 care. After a year of being off work and trying to survive financially on just our husband's income, which, if anyone can picture this, you know what it was like when it was COVID and suddenly people's incomes completely changed and people were just trying to scramble and survive and like cut back on the electricity, cut back on like food. They were like, where can we make all these cutbacks? That's what it was like. We'd gone from two incomes to one overnight. So after a year of just trying to struggle financially, my boss rang me up and he said, Danni, what's going on? Are you coming back to Specsavers? Are you not? What's happening? And I had to make the really difficult decision to put the lid on my career. And it was heartbreaking. I'd worked like my heart and soul into my career and I loved what I did. But my daughter needed me. I needed to be with her 24/7, because even when she was discharged from hospital, we were still back in hospital 3 or 4 times a week. She'd have fits and seizures. She had endless appointments. It was insane. Sometimes we'd have like 3 different appointments a day at different hospitals. I couldn't fit in a job around that. I was like unemployable. So I was in a situation where we were actually in receipt of government benefits. Now, for anyone that doesn't live in the UK, this is where the government support you financially. And I'm so grateful that they literally gave us free money to try and support ourselves. But the money that they gave us, it didn't even cover car parking, going to the hospitals. We were so far in debt, not because we were living the life of Riley. We were just using our money to go to hospital appointments and for fuel and just trying to pay our bills to survive. So we ended up getting into a lot of debt. So we were actually about £40,000 in debt. Mine and my husband's marriage was like, oh, it was so stressful and it was just a really difficult time. So I was screaming out for a solution, but the solution I was looking for had to have stipulations. I was like, well, it can't require skill because I've got no skill. I was like, it can't require a lot of money, like investing in property and stocks and shares, because I've got no money. It can't require me to leave my daughter. So it's got to be able to be something that I do from hospital, from my phone, so that I'm always with my daughter. So trying to find some sort of business or job around all those stipulations is, as you can imagine, quite tricky. Now, what I did was I complained about it. So I put on social media that it wasn't fair. I work really hard. I'm a grafter. I'm willing to roll up my sleeves, but there was nothing out there that I could do to bring money in for my family. And somebody commented on my rant on Facebook and basically said, there is something, let me tell you all about it. And this is what she told me. So I'm going to tell you what she told me. So I met her the next day because I was very open-minded. I'm not one of these people that if someone says they might have a solution for me, I don't just like shut my ears off like la 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 la. No, I was like, okay, meet you the next day. And she sat me down and she said, Danni, have you ever heard of Arbonne? And I was like, no, I've never heard of Arbonne. And she said to me, well, it's a company that's been around for 40 years. As soon as she said this, my ears were pricking, because I was thinking, if I am going to get involved with something, I don't want it to be one of these businesses like a franchise that only started a few months ago and who knows where it's going to be. Most businesses don't last past the first 10 years. So when she said 40 years, that ticked a box for me. She said to me, it was founded by a man called Petter Mork, who was born in Norway, and he wanted to create this company with a Swiss background. Again, my ears were pricking when I was here in Switzerland. I was thinking, oh, all the best things come from Switzerland. She said he was raised by a single mum with 4 children. He saw his mum working 3 jobs, and he decided that when he was going to create his business, it would be with women in mind, and men obviously can do Arbonne as well, but this is the backstory. He wanted to be able to enable women to be able to be with their families still and still have a career. And I was thinking, well, that's exactly what I want. I want a career and I want to be with my family. And she said he already had experience working with products. He worked for a very popular skincare company that you've probably all used some of their products. But this particular skincare company are constantly being taken to court because they put toxins into their products so that they can make as much profit as possible. They don't care about people, they just care about profit. And Petter Mork was very anti this. So he walked away from this incredibly like billion-dollar company. He walked away from a phenomenal job and said, I'm not okay with this. And this was back in the 70s as well. He said, I'm going to make my own company and I'm going to find the best people to create plant-based skincare, makeup, nutrition, and everyday essential products that families use in their households that are safe and they're good for people, that they actually work, they do what they say they're going to do. And so when my friend was telling me this, I was gripped to this story. I was like, well, how did Petter get on? Tell me what happened. And she said, well, he created Arbonne and it's this incredible company. And she said to me, I said, well, I've never heard of Arbonne. And she said, Arbonne will never, ever sell in shops and they will never pay for advertising. So that's probably why you've never heard of them, Danni. And I said, well, how do these products, how do people talk about them? How do they move? And she said, it's word of mouth. And at the time, she said, have you heard of the book 50 Shades of Grey? And I had, this was 10 years ago. I said, I haven't read it, but I've heard of it. And she said, did you know that they didn't pay for any advertising? That book was all word of mouth. I thought, oh, that's interesting. And she said, I think it was the car company Porsche, I think, but correct me if I'm wrong. She said, they didn't pay for any advertising either. It's all word of mouth. And she said, there's quite a few companies out there. It's all word of mouth. And as she was telling me this, I started to think, do you know what? This is actually really interesting because I won't even book a holiday without going onto TripAdvisor first and finding some like real person that's had a real experience at that destination. I don't want to see an advert about this holiday that's amazing. I just want to see a real person's testimony. And it's kind of the same when we watch movies or a Netflix documentary. We don't want to waste an hour of our time watching a Netflix documentary unless somebody said, oh, yes, I saw that. It's really good. It's worth your time. Because otherwise we're like, it's an hour of our time gone and that was rubbish. Well, we want real people to tell us the real truth. And that is the beauty of this business. So when my friend was telling me this, although I didn't have any skills, I was like, well, I can tell the real truth. I can use shampoo and tell people what I think. I eat and drink and I can tell people what I think. So I was like, tell me more because this company sounds absolutely incredible. So the tagline is revolutionize the way beauty is pursued and perceived. I just love that. Absolutely love, love, love. The company's been around since 1980, so a well-established company. And we are beyond clean. So for us, safety begins with our not allowed list. So we actually ban over 2,000 ingredients that most companies use. So when I first started looking at the Arbonne products, there was like over 500 products. I said to the girl that introduced me, what should I try first? And she said, well, in your family, is there any like problems that you have? And I said, yeah, my kids have really bad eczema. And I said, I've literally tried everything though. Nothing works. I've tried about 40 different brands. I've been to the GP. I've tried different products. Sometimes they work for a bit, but the problems persist. I said, my kids are up in the night, scratching their skin until it bleeds. They're crying. It's horrific. And she said, well, Arbonne do a kids range. So I was like, okay, yeah, all right then, I'll try the kids range. Now, I always like to be really honest with people. So this was my real experience. When I decided I was going to buy an Arbonne franchise, I was like, right, I'm going to buy the kids' hair and body wash. I about fell off my chair when I saw it was £20. I was used to spending £1 on kids' hair and body wash. So although £20 isn't a lot of money, It was a massive jump from what I was used to spending. So I said to my friend, oh gosh, Em, I said, that's a lot of money. I'm not used to spending that. I said, I don't even have that. And she said to me, well, you said you've tried everything and it doesn't work. So if this product works and it helps your kid's skin, is it worth it? I don't know if anyone here has got like kids or pets or like looks after like a parent or an elderly relative. You don't even need to hesitate, do you? You're like, well, yeah, if it works, absolutely. And I said, but what if it doesn't? And she said, well, Arbonne believe in their products that much, they offer a 90-day money back guarantee to their customers, even if the product is used. I have never ever come across a company that does that. That blew my head off. And on top of that, she said to me, you spend £1 on this bottle from the high street. How many bottles do you go through? And I said, well, one a week. So over the course of a year, that's 52 bottles. So that's £52, 52 bottles going into the environment. And she said, this bottle will probably last you a year. I'd thought, no way. But it did because it wasn't watered down. So it actually worked. Within 3 days, my kid's skin had cleared up. It actually lasted me longer than what I was used to constantly buying. So I actually saved money. And on top of that, it helped my business because I was using the products. I had some first-hand experience and results. So when I went on the school run, a couple of the mums collared me. I didn't know them that well, but they could see that my kid's skin in their face had cleared up. So they said, what have you used? And I didn't really know how to explain Arbonne then. So I think I mumbled something like, oh, Arbonne, 40 years, Switzerland, plant-based, vegan, gluten-free products, best of the best, don't sell in shops so that they're more affordable for people. And I said something like, oh, if this product was sold in a shop, it would be over £100. But because it's not, it's brought right down in price, lasts ages. And I don't know why, but these girls were like, oh, it sounds great. We want to order it. And I was like, oh, okay. So I said, well, you can't just buy Arbonne. You have to know a consultant who has a franchise. I said, but don't worry, because I've bought one. So they said, great, send me a link. So I sent them my link and I went off on my merry way. I got home and I had a ping on my phone. I got a notification saying that 2 different people had gone onto my shop, placed an order, paid for that order online. Those products were being shipped straight to their house because we don't deal with any product. It gets shipped straight to them. And I got a commission on that. I got paid for that. Now, it wasn't a lot. It was £12.50, but I was like, wow, I haven't even done anything. I've just done the school run. This is amazing. I was like, imagine if I earned £12.50 like every half an hour. It just blew my mind. So using these products, these clean products, having the results and sharing that with other people was what started to grow my business in the beginning. Now, a lot of people started to ask me about Arbonne. And as soon as I said Arbonne is a B corporation, they were like, say no more. Because a B corporation, the B Corp stamp is one of the most prestigious stamps that any company can obtain. And you have to recertify every 2 years. It's so hard to be a B Corp. Like, I think the percentage of B Corps globally is like 0.0001%. It's so small. Arbonne are a B Corp, and not only are we a B Corp, we get this stamp every single time we have to be retested. And it basically means, in a nutshell, we are a phenomenal company with phenomenal products. We do what we say we're going to do. We're good for people. We're good for the environment. It is a fantastic, prestigious honor to be a B Corp. And it's made me really conscious when I buy other things now. If I see it's a B Corp, I'm like, oh, what a breath of fresh air. So Arbonne are a B Corp, and I have a lot of people that I don't even need to say anymore. They're like, great, I'm in, fantastic. Arbonne do the greatest nutrition range. Our nutrition is all vegan, all gluten-free, all kosher, and just actually works. How many of us are like fatigued, we're tired, we've got bloating, we've got different issues. If you speak to somebody that's using Arbonne nutrition, they'll be like, it absolutely changed my life. In fact, if you're on the call now and you use Arbonne nutrition, put it in the chat and let us know. Let us know your experience with the Arbonne nutrition, because I just think hearing what people say, like real people having real testimonies have to say, it just means everything. I was diagnosed with an autoimmune, and when I started using the Arbonne nutrition 10 years ago, it took me off all medication. Now, I'm not a doctor and I can't say that that will happen to everybody, but it definitely happened to me. And the fizz sticks have absolutely been a game changer for me. When I first started this business, one of my biggest things that I wanted to do was play with my children on the floor and roll around. I just didn't have the energy to do that. I'd just sit there and watch them play, and I hated it. I started using the fizz sticks, and I was constantly on the floor with them. And I still am now. Like 10 years later, I'm still rolling around on the floor playing with my children. And I swear it's because of the nutrition, specifically the fizz sticks. We also have a phenomenal product called the Green Skin Elixir, which if you ever see an Arbonne consultant and their face is just glowing, that is the Green Synergy Elixir drink. It's fantastic. We have great skincare, which is what a lot of people want. Like, we want to age gracefully without using injections and fillers and all those nasties. We just want good quality skincare. I can hand on heart say our skincare is the best in the world. I have tried so many skincare brands. I have been given free skincare brands from the most prestigious companies you could imagine. They don't even scratch the surface compared to Arbonne. Arbonne skincare is next level. We actually also go one step above, and we have our product blind tested. Now, a lot of companies won't do this because a lot of companies know that their products are not actually that good. It's all hype and fake and artificial. But Arbonne know that what they say is true. So we have our products sent to a blind testing facility where they don't know what the products are. So they just say like A, B, C, and D on them. And then they test them against the leading brands. So let's just say skincare, for example. So they'll test them against the leading skincare brands. And then when you do this, when you have your products blind tested, you're legally bound to release the results. So you have to. And this is why a lot of companies won't do it. But we do with all of our products. All of our products are blind tested. So these are some of the results from the experience that people had actually using these products. So this isn't just hype. This isn't just me saying it. This is real. This is real people testing our products without knowing that it's Arbonne. So blind testing, phenomenal. We have incredible makeup. I personally wasn't a massive makeup wearer when I started my Arbonne business, but I knew that women that wear mascara will not run out of mascara before they buy another one. They'll always have one ready in the drawer for when theirs runs out. So from a business point of view, this is business 101. Like, you want to make sure if you're going to start a business that you've got money coming through your till constantly. So I knew, although I didn't always wear mascara, I knew a lot of people do, and they will always have a backup. So I just thought to myself, it's great if you go into a franchise where you sell like tables. Everybody loves a table, but how often do you replace that table? Like, not very often. But how often does somebody buy a mascara? All the time. People are always buying mascaras. So I just thought, if my business sells a product that people always want to buy, this has constantly got money running through my till. So from a business point of view, this is really, really smart. We are also in 6 markets. Now, this is really key because I have business all over the UK, which is where I live, but I also have business in Poland. I actually don't speak Polish, although I'm trying to, like, muscle through a little bit, but I'm absolutely not fluent in Polish. We also have business in Canada and America, and we also have business in New Zealand and Australia. Now, this is why this is key, because when the school mum came up to me on the school run and asked me about the baby care range, she bought the baby care range from my website, and then she told her friend, which to me was a stranger. So a stranger got given my website link and ordered product that got delivered to her door, and I got paid for that. Now, whenever a stranger comes and buys from me, I always make it my business to find them and send them a message and say thank you, and hopefully become friends with that stranger, because I want to be friends with all of my clients. So I actually did become friends with her, but initially that was a stranger, and she used the baby care range and it blew her away. She told her friend in Australia, and she ordered the baby care range from me. So that was another stranger on my website. I'd gone to bed one night. I woke up in the morning and I had a couple of notifications on my phone to say that a couple of people in Australia had been onto my website and shopped, and I got paid for that. This blew my mind that I'd been to sleep, and through the night, I'd woke up and earned a commission. I'd woke up and earned money. So what happens is people start using your products and they tell other people that are initially strangers to you, but they tell them, because we're human beings. We like to tell people when we found something fantastic. So I started to have people all over New Zealand and Australia go on my shop and shop with me. And I would wake up every morning with a notification to say somebody, you've got a new customer and they've just bought £100 of products. You've just earned £35. I was like, oh my gosh, this is absolutely amazing. And this is how my business started to grow. So if you're thinking about this from a business point of view, we're in 6 countries and we are still globalizing. We are still going into all the other countries. So when I was asking my friend about this business, I was like, right, how much do we earn? Just tell me how much we earn. So she said, we earn 35%. So if somebody spends £100 or $100 on in your shop, you get paid the following week £35. If you have multiple people ordering and that week you have £1,000 bought from your shop, you get paid the next week £350. I was like, that makes complete sense. She said, yes. Now, if somebody decides that they love your products and they want to be a wholesale customer, they can pay to be a preferred client and they get a discount of 20% and your commission goes down to 15%. Now, I know that sounds like counterintuitive. Like, why would you give somebody like your profit? PCs spend more. I don't know if anyone here has been a PC in Arbonne before you joined Arbonne, or maybe are a PC now. PCs love the products. They get 20% off. So they go shopping crazy. So I always tell my clients, become a PC. It's £10 for the year. You get 20% off everything. If you use Replenish Me, our subscribe and save service, you get a free gift in every order. And after 3 orders, you get a £40 credit. It's a phenomenal way to shop. And my clients, they absolutely love it. So that's the earning. When I first started this business, I was just selling product. So I just had customers that were buying from me. But what happened was I started to have people talk to me about them getting their own franchise. And they were like, I'm looking to do something. I've got 3 jobs. I've got 7 dogs at home, 14 children, and lots going on. I need some way of making another income and I just don't have any more time. So they were like, I can swap what I'm eating and drinking and washing in and start talking about these products. Can you teach me? I was like, of course I can. So when you train somebody up, ordinarily in the real world, most people don't get paid for that. They're just like told, you need to go and train up Joe over there. All right, okay. In Arbonne pay us when we train people up and they're successful. They don't pay us if you train somebody up and you don't help them and you do nothing with them, or their business is not successful, you get nothing. But if you help them and they get successful, Arbonne pay us a percentage based on their success. So they look at the turnover through their business, they pay them first, whatever's left, we get paid a percentage from that. And the percentage that you earn depends on your time in not time in the business, your trying to think of the word, like how good you are at the business. Can't think what the word is, but how good you are at I can't think what the word is. It's on the tip of my tongue. So let me go through how much percent that you earn. Let me just talk about it in real terms. I'll talk about it as I earned this. So everybody starts as a consultant, and then as you've got sales running through your business, you promote to level 1, which is a district manager. Now, most people promote to district manager in their first month, but I was really slow. It took me 4 months to promote to district manager, and you earn an extra 8%. So we already get that commission we've talked about, 35%. But when you promote to district manager, you get an extra 8%. At this point, 4 months in, I was earning an extra £500 a month from my Arbonne business, which was fantastic because it meant that I was able to ring up tax credits and say to them, thank you for the benefits you've given us for the last year. I don't need it anymore. Give it to somebody else that needs it. Like, I've got myself sorted. I've got myself a business. I'm good. Thank you so much. And that feeling was such a great feeling, being able to come off benefits thanks to Arbonne. So I carried on building my business, growing my client base and helping team members. I promoted to level 2, which is area manager. And at this point, you get an extra 6%, which is lovely. At this point, I was earning about, I think it was probably about £2,000 a month here. So about £500 a week at area manager level. And one of the reasons I was so incentivized to build to area manager was because your business is willable. So when I worked for Specsavers, if anything had happened to me and I had died, that would have been very sad for Specsavers, and they probably would have sent flowers to my funeral, but they certainly wouldn't have paid my income to my family for the next however many years. But Arbonne do. Arbonne pay your income. So clients are still ordering their mascara, they're still ordering their skincare and their nutrition, whether you're here or not, they've got their account. So they're still ordering on their account. that income gets given to your family, and it gets given 6 generations deep. So like, if anything happened to me, my husband would pick up my income, and then if anything happened to him, that would go to my children, which is generation 2. And then if anything happened to them, it'd go to my grandchildren, generation 3, etc., etc. So when you're building an Arbonne business, you're actually building it for your future as well, your partner or your loved ones, or if you've got children or great grandchildren. So area manager level is such a significant area to build to. So then you've got level 3, which is regional vice president, and you earn an extra 3% here. And this is where you get the cash bonus towards a white Mercedes. So I've had 3 different white Mercedes, courtesy of Arbonne, that have covered the cost of those. And I loved going from a banger Fiesta to a beautiful, glorious white Mercedes. I reached this level within a year from starting my business, and I was earning about £5,000 to £6,000 a month here. So can you imagine, at this point, I'm getting over £1,000 a week from my Arbonne paycheck. It was fantastic. I enabled my husband to walk away from his job. And every time our sick daughter got rushed into hospital, which was 3 or 4 times a week, he was never able to be with us because he had to work. Because of this Arbonne business, within the year, he was able to walk away from his job, set up his own business so that he could have flexibility, and he was able to be with our daughter in hospital every single time she got rushed in. So that was really the biggest draw for me. I wanted my husband to be able to be in hospital with his daughter and me as well. So the last level, level 4, national vice president, I was a bit slow here. It took me 4 years to get to the top, but it has been done, I think, within 4 or 5 months if you're Speedy Gonzalez. At this point, you earn an extra 1%. And my income at the top level here was about £10,000 a month. So in weekly terms, we're talking about 2,500. Now, this is like not the norm. Not everybody can build a business at this level, but not everybody does. And that's absolutely fine. So if you do want to see like what is average, go to the Arbonne income disclaimer, and then you'll be able to see like what most people earn. And I think it does say on here that most people earned, I think the average consultant last year earned about £200 a week. I think it does say it in a moment. So it's an incredible way to earn. Oh yeah, here it is, £191 a week. That was what the average person earns. So some people less, some people more. So to get started, if you've sort of listened to this and thought, why would anybody not? I get it. That was me. I joined straight away. I was like, people would be crazy to say no to this. This is an incredible way to switch what you're already spending money on. Everybody's already eating and drinking and using some sort of personal care products in their house, like sun cream, toothpaste, deodorant. Why would anybody not buy from themselves and then review these products, and then hopefully people want to buy them based on their testimony? So if this is you and you're like, absolutely, I'm all in, it's £70 to start your business. And that's a year. When my friend told me, I thought she said that was a month, which seemed fair for a franchise. But when she said that was a year, I couldn't believe it, because what that covers is your whole website's been built. You haven't got to pay £6,000 to have your website built for you. It covers it. It covers customer service for your clients and yourself in all of the countries. So if you don't speak Polish, you've got a customer service team in Poland that speak Polish for your customers, which is just unbelievable. Or French Canadian, for example. It covers the legal team, it covers the marketing, it covers them making the products. It is just the most incredible business. All you've got to do is use the products that you choose to use and tell people what you think. And then at every promotional level, you can unlock cash bonuses as well. And then there's also the opportunity to earn trips. I have been on 17 Arbonne trips, and a few of us are about to go to Dubai in a couple of weeks, which is really exciting. We're going as a family of 6, and we're just so looking forward to these trips. The Arbonne trips that they let you go on is unbelievable. So that's very exciting. And then I just love this. We're more than a company. We're a collective of creative individuals. If you know somebody in Arbonne, you'll know that they are a special type of person. So the more people, the more voices, the more perspectives. And I just think that is absolutely brilliant. So all I would say to end is, if somebody has invited you onto this and they're like, listen, I see something in you, I really, really want you to be a part of this. Like, it's just the best opportunity. It's incredible. they've seen something in you that maybe you haven't seen in yourself yet. And it really is the most unique, most special, most incredible company. The people are the nicest people. The products are the best products. The weekly pay is fantastic. It's such a doable business. It's so doable because all you're doing is using the products and telling people what you think. Like that is the basics to this business, which in this day and age, we are sick to the back teeth of seeing adverts where a model is on the telly, then promoting a mascara, and you think, wow, their eyelashes look great. But then in small writing, it says that the model's wearing false eyelashes. Like, this is not real. We want real. We want to see real people's skin and not filters. So somebody's seen something in you and they think you would be incredible at this. And I absolutely couldn't agree more because you've jumped onto this on a Wednesday night to hear what I've got to say with my bedtime story. I think that you would be incredible at Arbonne as well. So what I would suggest that you do is think about what questions that you've got. So for me, it was how quick can I start? And my friend was like, straight away. I was like, great, I'm in. Think about the questions that you've got. Ask the person that has told you about Arbonne those questions, get those questions answered, and jump in and just join the team and have the best time with it. I'm celebrating 10 years in Arbonne, and I am still every day excited like it's Christmas Day every day. It is the best thing to have in your life. I wake up in the morning excited, and that's not just the fizz sticks. So that's me. I really appreciate you joining us tonight, or if you're watching on replay, thank you so much. I hope whatever it is that you're doing next, you have a fantastic evening. Hopefully it's you joining Arbonne. But if not, enjoy the rest of your evening.
All up in the party. Presidents in my wallet. No rules, I'm bout it. Blow the whistle for the hottie. I got it. Shorty, it's never too much.